It means a liability hazard to us if they're plugging whatever cord they are at the top of the gangway. And that is often schooners that are doing schooners that are doing. They're tied up for the night and they're using the opportunity to charge whatever batteries or do something. And I think we should be looking at a policy about the use of electricity on the dock.
I don't think we should do that.
Well, one reason I would argue that we don't charge more than a penny for dockage is that he provides electricity that we don't.
I think that's a real benefit for Kenny, and people need to weigh that against our cost, and it drives business to Kenny.
Yeah. And if you had showers, it'd be even better.
Yeah, and so there's no reason we shouldn't charge more and allow people to make that choice.
I'd say charge the same, and he's got an extra benefit with his electricity.
Again, I really love it if everybody put their thoughts on paper in the next 10 days and 2 weeks from tonight, maybe.
Well, what about the 28th or the, not available the 3rd or the 4th? So either the 28th or the 31st, or sorry, not the 31st, sorry, the 28th or the 3rd, you're not available the 3rd or the 4th? What about the 10th back?
No, we're leaving on the 1st for 12 days. The 28th would work.
The 28th.
That's a Tuesday.
No, that's a Friday. So it would be a midday working session for the Harbor Committee.
What time is midday?
Well, what do you think? I mean, I'm available anytime on a Friday afternoon. I don't know about JT, he's working, but David may very well. How about you, Bill? The end of the month,
Pretty
Friday.
available. I'm kind of in my nap time, but that's okay. Fine.
Roger?
I'm alone.
Well, then how about 2 o'clock or 1:30?
Yeah, 1:30.
1:30?
Yeah.
Friday, the 28th, a working session for budget and
Come there.
Yeah.
And call to.
and policy, yeah. And I think we are at a point where we need to raise rates. We haven't done so in so long. And
it was 3 years ago, I think we went to 100 million. Yeah, that's not that long ago.
2001.
well, we haven't increased the per foot rate on the dock overnight.
No, that's true. That sounds like it just needs to catch up with the markets.
Well, and I like that thought about charging after so many hours.
Yeah,
I think that's
that
a
would make it versus.
potential.
Because then if somebody wants to stay for an extra hour, then it's up to them. We're not throwing them out. It's okay.
Yeah. The downside is somebody could easily stay all day. They just pay this 60, 80 bucks or whatever it is.
Well, and there's certainly that potential. It's not.
It's good revenue wise, but it doesn't.
Well, we can put a limit on it.
Yeah, I mean, we
Policy, if
max.
someone wants to stay an extra hour or two, it's just amount of money.
But it is another piece that the attendants need to track and then be able to
They're not gonna be there for us to collect them. It's hard enough to get them to come back in 2 hours.
I agree, yeah.
And it gets sticky, and people come and there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to come. They come over all the time from out around there. Well, that's their play our desk business.
Yeah.
Flowers, and then they're fine, and they're go, and they like it, and it works for them.
Well, and they know, I mean, we have a history of this time period and framing, and people make their plan based on,
We're food trucks.
again. Yeah, I mean, I think it's we have had a trend of downward boat traffic, and people aren't going to retail their business out based on the boat traffic we have.
And up to the master and the attendant, we can put a boat on the caterer occasionally if we want to. Lunchtime. Well, 20-foot boat, you can still keep it, pick up and drop off. Doesn't have to be that strict.
Yeah, I mean, that exposes you to the vigilance of the town, which is a challenge.
Yeah. Which is what?
A challenge.
Yeah, well, I have to, 18 and 20-foot boat, and it's quite a few in the
That gets into the whole Northwest Island thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think the working session is something, and we need to put our heads together and come up with a,
I've got no problem with raising mooring fees for boats, say over 40 feet or something like that.
I think most of the houses are doing that, size wise,
And you can make an argument, they're using more real estate.
a lot more. You. That would be equitable. 16-foot Boston whale in prices of 40-foot boat.
Should we consider adding more moorings for rent? To, as income?
We need,
and there isn't the demand. Those moorings are empty more than they are full, and rarely are they full such that the two of them are full, you know. I've seen that maybe 3 times in the 20 years.
You'd be hard pressed to make
oftentimes,
that.
they'll come in and go on the mooring and bring their people in with their dinghies and then go this whole night.
Mhm.
So, I don't think there's any need for more. Unless we can get Jim Jennings for free.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't, anything else that you want to, in the harbor master's report?
So, right now, we know what the, schedule is for floats. I think I'm gonna have them do a little better job with, rollers on the chains and things like that, try to keep it better. We got one more bracket to put up on the dinghy boat fender pile. Everything that Alco Marine was told or asked to do, they did. Within reason, there's a couple of the pylons and beam junctures with the brackets you just couldn't do. We have several extra brackets. There is, the aluminum anodes need to be changed.
Mhm.
And I don't know, does a town crew do that?
It's been so long,
Yeah.
we have them all, right?
Huh?
We have all the anodes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know how many are up to the pile.
Do they bolt on or weld on or what?
They bolt on.
Bolt must be nasty.
I'll talk to, Corey. So. You just move the old boat over to the shed. And see what clears up a little bit, and I put it inside.
Yeah, so we got the new boat.
We don't have it, we have the old boat, so I gotta get the, GPS off it and stuff like that, and we're gonna move over to the. Not gonna move the radio, because that was killing the battery, and I. Talking. And anything else we can do.
Do we need a new battery, a new radio?
Yeah.
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 Because it should have a radio.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
and this one, they're designed not to go off when the battery switch is off, but. Doesn't get used unless it was an emergency, and then there's some traffic. But that was killing the battery.
Mhm.
I couldn't figure out what it was until I took it off and stopped. So,
And the boat has a significant warranty, right?
no,
Yeah.
27.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was a very good find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen with the old boat in trailer?
Huh?
What's happening with the old
I
boat?
don't know, I think they're gonna probably try to sell it, but they don't want it, it's as is type thing and
Mhm.
not worth a lot.
$50,000.
Where anything better than nothing, just take that space there.
You said it was a Grady White, right?
No, it's not.
Makeup.
Makeup.
The new one?
Yeah,
It's a new one, the makeup, 17 feet with 75 on
Is
it.
there an ETA on that?
So what,
You know when you're gonna get it?
where we on?
Well, they're going to transfer the electronics.
They're gonna do that, and they're gonna paint the bottom,
Yeah,
never
and
paint it.
there's no urgency, so that it'll be after the snow melts.
Yeah, I don't wanna take the shrink wrap.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna
No.
take that off.
Yeah.
May then.
Well, April 8th.
Anything else for Scotty in the harbor? Okay, thank you, Scott.
If you don't mind.
Pardon me?
I got a 5:30, so I'm gonna leave if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah. I would be happy to postpone the discussion of this Castine water use ordinance. I think we need to have this discussion, aquaculture and pieces moving forward about the whole of the use. I sent this out to you all.
Yeah.
Penobscot passed one last summer. So that's what I sent out was their aquaculture ordinance. I really feel that it should expand beyond aquaculture and should incorporate commercial use outside of simply aquaculture and perhaps even research use by the academy. I just think that we are seeing them expand with significant momentum of their own federal accord, and we need to be aware of that and have some mechanism so that any expansion is going to be brought to the town in the use of the water.
What do you envision as corporate use or whatever?
Well, there was tidal research done here before. There is wind power generation research. They have a history of building out this as a potential, and I think the town should be informed about that personally.
So when you first said that, I was wondering, oh, something you want to do with shellfish farm?
Well, we have no recourse unless we have an ordinance, and that is
So there
clear.
none.
And right now there is none being proactive. So it's important that the towns start to recognize that this resource is there. If the state, and they've made this clear in past harbor conferences, that if there is an ordinance, then the state will then allow the town to start gaining input and measure. But if there isn't, then it's state, and any of those go to the state, and then the town's not consulted.
And basically, I know like shellfishing, I know in Surrey, they didn't want to go through this because they would have to hire someone to monitor it. And they didn't want to, they didn't think it was, I used to clam what. And so they had no ordinance, anybody, anywhere could come and clam. As long as you're on DEP, you know, to water.
Probably that's a good one to model because they'll be frugal about it.
Yeah. Well, I think that I didn't know that that example existed, so I think we need to have this discussion and start framing some potential ordinance that's associated with the use of the water
I
in the
mean,
area.
although there isn't too much open. Yeah. Last time I looked, everything is closed, because there are treatment plants. There's a few spots in Castine.
Well,
I asked them where you go plant.
It's all open.
it is all of it.
The only reason I know of it isn't open because I got caught there up until when you wrote the switches. I didn't know that was closed, that little pond, they went, and claimed, and they, holy Christ. I mean, I was still in the hall in like 10 minutes. The board was watching me. I had no idea. It was illegal. He didn't do anything, but I was over there and, nice cold and everything. I don't think he did anything wrong. It's like,
So everything is open now, it's really, it's not contaminated, nothing wrong.
And it's not just shellfish use in the intertidal zone, it's salmon farms and, this is what that ordinance would be about.
Yeah, that's a big. And farm is a big.
houseboats.
Houseboats is another piece.
You can do something about that.
And so this is all proactive, and I think this is an effort that the waterfront committee needs to start undertaking. And so if you can review this town ordinance and at the working session, we'll keep building it, because in my understanding, we would need to draft something that then we would bring forward to a town meeting and adopt.
I saw when we moved there 3 years ago, and no.
It was closed for a while.
Yeah.
Many years, but they opened it up about 10 years ago. Maybe longer than, well, no, years ago.
No, it was 3 years ago, I called them, and they didn't go, what was go.
What do you call
The, over in Lemoyne.
it? Not true. Like, they're not, it's not true.
They looked on their map.
There's hardly any mussels even had COVID anymore. It looks like that.
No,
Yeah, not much there, I know,
they,
I saw some people.
they opened it up. Remember when they all the famous came down the hatch bowl? Cleaned it out in about 4 days. They had some refrigerator trucks and- But that was, not very long ago.
Okay, I don't have any further agenda items. Does anyone else have?
I do have one question, I know you brought it up before. the existing work that's been done on the town dock. Work that's done. And with my understanding of the town funds the money and that the home move piles and everything. Yeah. But with the idea that we're going to be reimbursed, so is that in question, that reimbursement phase?
Well, that's part of a FEMA application.
So it's FEMA, okay, that was the other question. Was
For
that
the
FEMA or
damage, yeah.
state?
It's FEMA application that is, yeah, and Derek would be the best to keep tracking where that's standing, but that was the intent, is that this was going to be reimbursable through that FEMA.
FEMA question mark, because there is a FEMA.
Right, well, that's a whole other
That's the
kettle
schedule,
of
right? I'm
fish,
just,
yeah.
but you know, here and elsewhere.
And I think, I mean, Scott has asked us to consider not contributing to our boat fund. I think those decisions and conversations can be had at the working session, but I think it's of value to keep squirreling whatever money we can out.
Maybe
Way.
put in a little less this for the next 2
Right.
years or something.
And so we can allot it differently, but we still need the practice of it.
Well, we get used to spending nothing. Yeah.
And so, Scott, do you have any?
Yes, I've been in communication with US Harbors, which do the weather every day as well as tidal information and so forth. And several months ago, they communicated that to everyone who follows them, that they were interested in having a comprehensive tidal tide level report. Right now, for instance, the closest station is Bangor, is Bar Harbor. And then the one south of here, I can't remember where it is, the point is, I think that Castine would like to know what the tide forecast is, and which we can't easily know by going to US Harbor, but we'd also like to know exactly what it was. And in particular, because of the high tides this time last year, the moon tides in particular.
The academy used to measure the tides,
I heard that.
and they weren't 100% reliable. Go back and say, what was it 3 months ago? We missed that. But
So there is an effort at the Academy for digitized harbor information, and they're deploying potential sensors that will monitor variety of different hydrographic elements. And I can put you in touch with the researcher there.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an interesting piece of citizen science to me that could be done by the community. Perhaps it's something that the Castine community partners might be interested in.
I do know there was a cost involved. I don't remember what it was because it was so months ago.
Uh-huh.
But I did hear from them just in the past 2 weeks, and they said they'd be in contact with me soon. So I'll have more. It's there is, I think, to say, there is a cost, but I'll find out the degree of it and report to you what I find.
the academy is a good opportunity. They're teaching oceanography.
That's great.
They have students around.
Sure.
Apparently they're buying some things here anyways. It's just part of the NOC project, or
No, it's a separate research project that the oceanographic community.
That'd be cool for like a senior project or something.
Yeah.
Can you tell me whom I should contact?
The researcher is Karen Merritt,
Karen?
Merritt, Merritt. And they're just developing that process. Nothing's been deployed, but I think they've purchased some equipment. And I'm not sure what bathymetric data they're gathering.
Yes.
But,
Well, I'll communicate whether
Yeah.
it relates to you.
yeah, and Dana will know, he's supporting that project as well. But if they can input the data to another organization, maybe there's an open data piece.
Could be. Let's see.
Any further business? Then a motion to adjourn.
Move.
All in favor? Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.